Hey guys, Allison here. Well, today I want to focus on emotional freedom. All right, we're sticking with our theme of freedom. What is emotional freedom and how do you achieve it? So many of us are slaves to social media, to guilt from the past, guilt in the present. So many things that get in the way of us being emotionally free. If we have wounds from the past that we have not resolved, we're not really free, right? Because those things are really having a pull and an influence on us. So imagine this, that, we are supposed to be vessels of the Holy Spirit and allow God to use us. But if we have wounds or we have sins, our own sins or the sins committed against us, we become kind of like we have holes, not holy, but with holes, right? It's like a colander. So God pours his grace in and it flows right out again because we're not free emotionally, right? We get stuck. So those of you who may have experienced trauma, and most of us have at some point, we might go into fight, flight, or freeze mode. So think about how unfree you are if you have unresolved trauma. Something happens and you're just not able to effectively respond to it. Reach out to a Catholic therapist. Make this your year to heal. Now, God is the ultimate healer, but a Catholic therapist, number one, knows that, but has the skills to guide you, to ask you the right questions, to look at those patterns in your life, to look at those, repetitive things that seem to come up all the time. And to be able to challenge you a little bit to look at that, but to help you to bring it to God for healing. It's so important. There are so many people unhealed today. We see it all over. And we see it in big ways. We see it in small ways, even in our families. We know there's certain things that people get stuck on, and it might be describing you. Make this your year to be emotionally free. Now, let me just define, what do you think emotional freedom actually is? Our emotions are gifts from God. They give us information. And it's not always pleasant information. Sometimes we get mad, right? Or sometimes we feel hurt or afraid. Those are emotions, and they give us information. So a threatening person comes in the room, I feel afraid. It's giving me information to be cautious or look for an escape route, right? But all of those emotions need to be felt and experienced, to be acknowledged, and then to be guided by reason. So if I know I'm afraid of something, or I know, hey, this person comes in and they seem a little bit off, I'm thinking, right? I'm in touch with that emotion. Okay, I'm getting scared. What do I do with it? Or think of it this way: when you are angry, and you may want to just turn around and smack your boss across the face, not cool, right? You're likely to lose your job. So what do? You guide that emotion by reason. You go home and you say, okay, I either have to look for another job or I have to find a way to talk to my boss in a respectful way so that he or she doesn't do this anymore. All right, so do you see how you're feeling it? You're guiding it by reason. When you know it's an overpowering emotion, it's like really, really strong, then reason will say, okay, let's just step away until this subsides, and then we can think about what we're going to do with this emotion. So anger is one of those emotions a lot of people are afraid of, but it's a great emotion, right? Even Jesus got angry, right? He turned over the tables of the money changers. He didn't, he got very angry at the Pharisees. Why? Because they were an obstacle to people coming to him, to coming to God, right? So anger in our world right now, we see it expressed very negatively, but we also see it expressed positively when we use that anger as that energy, that psychological motor to correct an injustice. All right, so do you see how when we are in touch with our emotions, we can decide what we do with them? We have emotional freedom then. And if we're not, it may come out sideways. So I don't even know I'm angry at you, but it comes out passive aggressively. And after a while, you see a pattern and you start getting mad at me, or maybe break off the relationship. Right? Or maybe, there's something that could have been resolved, and maybe you walk away from relationships too quickly because you just don't know what to do with that anger. So you just either freeze or flee. Emotional freedom doesn't mean you're always going to be happy, but you're going to have the freedom to use those emotions, to guide them by reason and bring good from them. And even sometimes when something is painful, we can still have hope and we can still guide it by reason and trust that God is going to bring us through it and use it for something better. So again, emotional freedom, when we can guide our emotions by reason and we're free. So think about that. This is a great year, the year of freedom in our country, to reach out to a Catholic therapist and start the process. At least investigate it. At least set up an initial session. If you've been struggling for a long time, or you know that something's not right, or you know that those emotions get in your way, or you're not able to really manage them, reach out to a Catholic therapist. There are so many wonderful people out there and so many different modalities and ways of helping you to heal. So make this your year. I want to see you free this year. God bless you.